Nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Tune in to Eco Word Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 11 a.m. for the PA Lottery Eco Word Tip of the Day. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
These days, my happy place feels a little happier, even if the fish aren't biting.
Mental health care is working for Diego. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
I accept the Nobel Prize for Peace at a moment when 22 million Negroes of the United States are engaged in a creative battle to end the long night of racial injustice.
Join WURD in partnership with Global Citizen and the Greater Philadelphia Martin Luther King Day of Service for the largest King Day of Service event in the nation as we broadcast live from Girard College Armory on Monday, January 15th, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Solomon Jones will be your host for the signature broadcast event featuring the voices of special guests from all sectors of government and business. You'll also hear information and solutions that impact our communities and much, much more. Join us on site or on air. Keep it locked right here on WURD Radio for more information on the Martin Luther King Day of Service, Monday, January 15th, beginning at 7 a.m.
We are the home of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L-O-G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Look at that. Look at that. It might help if I unmuted, right? Hi there, family. Hello, and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Welcome to Thursday, January 11th, 111. Right, that's right. That's right. Here on Love and Life. I hope all is coming along well with and for each and every one of you. Please be on alert this weekend. We have another storm coming to Philadelphia, as I read earlier today. Not as much rain as the other day, but definitely more rain to come. So make sure you're aware and are preparing for that. Today was beautiful, though, wasn't it? Today is beautiful. Such a beautiful day today. Ooh. Another thing, I'm looking forward to seeing those of you who are coming to Sony Hall this weekend. I will be there with the one and only Will Downing crew, and I'm looking forward to that. Yes, I am. Family, I hope you're having a great day on purpose. I truly do. Especially those of you who are celebrating a birthday on today. All about love bugs. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. So, family, if you are joining us by way of social media, let us know. Share a comment or a few. You know, we don't mind that. We don't mind that. Or you can even give us a call. You can do that by dialing 215 634 8065. You can even call us toll free by dialing 1-866 361 0900. Share some love with us. You know, we like it any way you care to share it. And to our family members joining us with heavy hearts, family, I'm sending you extra love and hugs on today on behalf of your entire tribe and village, just so that you know that you are not alone. You hear me? I just need you to know and want you to know that you are not alone. All right. I have some reminders that I want to share. The first of which, family. Join Word in partnership with Global Citizen and the Greater Philadelphia Martin Luther King Day of Service for the largest King Day service event in the nation as we broadcast live from the Girard College Armory on Monday, January 15th, 7 a.m. until 10 a.m. Our beloved Solomon Jones will be our host for this signature broadcast, featuring information, solutions, special guests, and more. Keep it locked right here on Word Radio for more information. I also want to remind you that Word Radio is hosting a special broadcast next Monday during Evening Words to commemorate the birthday of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Moderated by James Peterson, the march continues, holding on to hard-won civil rights. We'll examine how far we've come since the Civil Rights Act was passed 60 years ago and how hard we do have to fight to hold on to those gains in the face of modern day resistance and backlash. Family, tune in for this thoughtful and much needed conversation during Evening Words at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday, January 15th, as we honor the life and legacy work. We honor the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. right here on Word Radio. All right, so we've got some family members checking in. Nasir Butler is joining us. Hey there, Nasir. He's sending peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you as well. Khalil Rashid is joining us, and he says, good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. He's sharing peace and blessings as well with the entire Word family. Thank you. Malcolm shares that he is watching and listening from West Mount Airy. Hi there, Malcolm. Hi there. Mardia Reed. Hi there, beautiful. One of my love bugs says hi. Misty, my cousin. Hey, love bug. She's sending a good evening. Family, I love this. I love this. And Nicole P. shares that she is checking in from Burbank, California, and she's so happy to be here. Eric is already on board. Everybody's coming along. I love it. And Drina Ross shares that she is watching from the sweetest sides of Detroit, Michigan. I love it. Family, I don't want to take any more time. I want to get started because I want to introduce you to this extraordinary individual, and I really want to have this conversation. I would like for you to know David Levy-Bey, who is affectionately known as Brother Dave. He is a board-certified master herbalist, a certified natural health professional who was trained and mentored for 7 years by Dr. Frank Wyatt, a great naturopathic doctor who developed a unique system of diagnosing illness that combines ancient healing techniques with cutting-edge technology. Brother Dave is a graduate of Trinity School of Natural Health, and he's skilled in the following modalities: kinesiology, iridology, pupil border dynamics, physiognomy, and herbology. Oh, tongue twisters. You hear me? That's why we have him here to talk with us about all of that, okay? Because I just made a mess of it all. Family, I invite you to the conversation with David Levy-Bey. Well, hello there and welcome.
Hello, hello. How you doing, Carol?
I'm so happy to have you here. So first of all, I was telling him that I was so excited that he came to join us, and I know the time goes by so quickly. So I want to say thank you publicly because I've thanked you, but thank you publicly for coming. We do have a family member that is calling in. So before we get into our conversation, I do want to take this call. Ron, I believe, is calling in. Hi there, Ron. Thank you for calling. Did we lose Ron? I believe we have another family member on line one. We'll take that call.
Yeah, hi, Carol.
Hi, Fred. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm just tired and bloated. But let me get through this right quick. It's still relevant. I just want to say,
Okay.
oh, beautiful, oh, gracious and spacious skies. Morning light. Life has so much to show you. You must be ready for the new because the best is yet to come. And it's all about love. And it's about God's grace that there's a promise of love and about faith and trust that there's a rainbow of love. Rainbows in the sky. And God will never forget his promise unto us. So divine order is being directed by God. Divine order is divine government, God in control. Divine order is the flow of the Spirit as we yell to his guidance and direction. Divine government is the word truth active in our lives. Divine order is living in covenant power, right standing with God. And I think about the good times, the things we used to do, and the places we used to go, and everything was so mellow. It was so nice, and true love we shared, and we used to care for one another. So don't stop caring for one another, because there's visions of love are what will be, and there's always someone who cares. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you for
You're
always
welcome.
sharing love. Thank you so much. And it'll get better. It'll get better. We actually have Ron back on the line. Ron, hi. Thank you so much for calling.
Hello, Cal, and my family, my WRD love family. Uh, you and Mr. Will in particular, and I use that for a reason, and Malcolm and y'all, because you're always giving love and a part of the family. And with that, I made a commitment today for life. And because of that, I'll be real quick. And the man that's on the line too, glad to be on Life and Love, sir. And I would like at this time real quickly to do this for y'all. The last speech that Dr. King did when he talked, I had a dream. Mm-hmm. He said you only need each other but 3 words to let this nation know what you're talking about. And those 3 words is all here and now. And I had a dream this afternoon. It was a dream that's rooted deep down into the American dream. I had a dream. One day the brotherhood of man will become a reality. I will go out and transform dark yesteryears into a bright tomorrow. I will carve out a mountain of despair, a tunnel of hope. He said, But this, hold true to what you've written on paper. We hold this truth to be self-evident that all men was created equal. And I say to you today, I had a dream that one day the brotherhood of man will become a reality. And this is what's so beautiful about love and life. Your program it's about love and life. And anybody that becomes a member of our Love and Life Team family, it's welcome to everybody. We can take on hundreds of people. And in this love of life, once you become that member, you become in the database of Cal Riddick, came up with this wonderful vision for her program, Love and Life. If you don't have life, and if you don't have love, it's purpose. It have no purpose. So I want to thank Love and Life family for a person and people that have been nice to me with my legs. That's why my cup runneth over. And I'm going to continue wherever I go, whether it's on this radio station. I'm expecting very soon to have a press conference. And I'm going to talk about love and life. That is a part of WURD, but all the other things. When I listen at this program and all the tedious things that's taking place in this city and in this country, and for Cal to have a program at the end to take away the tedious stuff of life, then go spend this weekend to go out and try to bring me songs of joy, songs of inspiration. What this lady has done for Philadelphia, rightfully so. I say, Miss Mayor, consider Cal and that family from South Philadelphia to do something nice for her. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. Family, if you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. Our guest in this hour is Brother Dave, David Levy-Bey. Oh, Ron, you always touch me so deeply. Brother Dave is joining us today, and I asked him to come because, family, he's a master herbalist. He was recommended to me by one of my good cookie girlfriends, Mardia Reed. And she said, "You must meet him. You must talk with him." And I did so. And I was so impressed. I am so impressed with him and his abilities that I wanted to share him with you all. So, Dave, would you please share with our family members from where you come? Tell us about a little about you.
So, West Philadelphia, born and raised.
That's right.
And, I'm a graduate of Overbrook High. Was in the United States Marine Corps. Worked for the Philadelphia Gas Works for 31 years. Um, Worked for Independence Blue Cross for a short period of time, like
Mhm.
roughly about 18 months. Um, Coach football. I was a football coach for 69th Street Wildcats and the North Philly Aztecs.
Oh, wow.
So, just trying to give back to the community and help the children. That was part of my journey. Yes.
Well, no, I did not know any of that. We've had several conversations over
Right.
the past few days. So thank you for sharing that. I look at the time and I know it goes by so quickly, and there's so much that I want to share with our family. So, family, forgive me if I'm all over the place, but I typically am, but especially and particularly in this hour because I want you to know so much information. Can you share with us what being an herbalist means? What does it mean to be an herbalist?
So, a herbalist is one who has knowledge of herbs, has the ability to formulate herbs, and has the understanding of how herbs work in conjunction with the body. Um,
Okay.
one thing that I wanted to say is that a lot of people are waking up today about herbs. They're starting to become aware.
Hmm.
The thing about um, herbology is the fact that you have to understand that everything doesn't work for everybody.
Hmm.
So there's not just one particular herb that's the cure all for everything. That's why it's a continuous study, a continuous knowledge of learning the plants and
Hmm.
what they mean, to the body systems. And so, it's a constant learning. You know what I mean? It's like you never know everything because there's always something new that you're going to discover. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But basically that's what the profession is about. It's about the knowing and understanding the herbs and how it relates to the body, and how to bring back balance to the body, through herbs. Okay.
So you were sharing with me about your journey.
Hmm.
How and why did your journey begin um, as an herbalist or on a homeopathic?
So let me tell you my own story. Okay.
Okay.
Um, Back in 2004, I was diagnosed with what they said was incurable liver disease. And when you have an imbalance in your liver, it can be very scary because um, you can be feeling fine one minute, and the next minute you feel like you're going to pass out.
Mm,
And so it's very scary.
okay.
When the liver is out of balance, and you know, you start having all types of issues going on with the body that something's not right. And so when I went to my primary care doctor, and they sent me to an upper GI specialist, it was determined that I had this liver disease, and that they said, is basically incurable. And then they wanted to do a liver biopsy on me to find out if I had liver cancer.
Okay.
So it didn't feel right with my spirit. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I'm not letting you cut on my liver. It just doesn't feel right to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into prayer, and prayer is very important.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in your most
Dave, I'm so sorry. I hate to interject. I was not paying attention. I was so interested in getting to this story. Family, stay with us. It's time for us to take just a short commercial break, but we are coming right back.
All right. No problem.
Stand with Word Radio as we continue to provide dynamic, progressive programming to inform and empower our people. We're living in unprecedented times, and we must stand together to protect and preserve Black Talk Media. Become a 4Word member with the annual membership price of just $90, or a digital member starting at just $5 per month. If you're already a 4Word member, sign up, family member, or a friend to help us continue making history. Start or renew your 4Word membership today. Visit wordradio.com/4word or wordradio.com/membership.
Light heat grants through PGW are available, and 1 in 3 households in Philadelphia are eligible to receive up to a $1,000 grant to pay for their natural gas heating bill this winter. PGW has made it easier than ever to see if you're eligible and to apply. Simply text MONEY to 77037, call 215-235-1000, or visit pgworks.com/light heat. PGW, helping ease minds this winter.
Tune in Saturday at 3 p.m. for Let's Talk Safety with Fire Commissioner Adam Teal. Learn about fire prevention and emergency preparedness, and join the conversation.
Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor. Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Visit manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
No, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly on WURD. We're talking with David Levy-Bey. And before the commercial break, I rudely interrupted him when he was sharing his story with us. So, Dave, you left off by telling us that you had been diagnosed with an incurable liver disease.
Right. So, of course, that's what they said. And it didn't feel right when they wanted to do a liver biopsy on me, and I refused. And, I went into prayer because that's so important, people, that, whenever you're in a crisis situation, you need to rely on God. We've gotten away from God, and we need to come back to God, okay? Because when you're in trouble, you definitely need to reach out. And I did. And I was led to a naturopathic doctor by the name of Dr. Frank Wyatt. And this doctor, I had to wait actually 3 months before I could see him because that's how booked up he was. But he set up a system that was so wonderful. He set up a system that he called In the Meantime, where he had some students that he had taught that would check you until he was able to see you. And he also had a community meeting that he would do every third Monday of the month, where he would educate the community on herbs and natural health. And so, in the process of waiting to see him, the student that I did see performed a procedure called kinesiology on me, where they tested me for herbs. And for anyone who doesn't understand or know what kinesiology is the science of muscle testing. And what they do is they test your body against the herbs to see what kind of reaction that they're going to get, whether they're going to get a positive reaction or whether they're going to get a negative reaction.
Okay.
And as she was going through this process, she was getting herbs that she felt that would help me in my situation. And if it tested strong, she would put it to one side. If it tested weak, she would put it to another side through this muscle response testing. So as I'm looking at her do this, I never had seen this before. So at this point, I'm sitting up here like, what is she doing? I never seen this, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
But
mhm.
it felt right in my spirit, you know what I mean? It felt right in my spirit, so I went with it. And so through that process, she was able to put together a regimen for me to do. And I started taking these herbs, on faith because it felt right in my spirit. And I noticed immediately a difference in my body. I started having more energy. I felt better. Anybody who's been having any type of liver imbalance, you're tired all the time, sluggish, feeling like you're going to fall out. My energy was feeling good. And, I went through this process until I was able to see Dr. Wyatt for my official consultation 3 months later. And this man was telling me stuff in my consultation with him about myself. I didn't open up my mouth. And he was dead accurate in everything that he said. And go ahead.
That's the same experience I had with you. Family, let me tell you, and the procedure or the process that I went through with David was different. I had taken photos of my eyes and I sent them to him. Now, today is the first time I've actually seen him. I didn't see him, didn't know what he looked like, but we communicated via text. And I sent him photos of my eyes, and he said, "Okay, when I do your consult, it'll be anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half." We talked for 5 hours. 5 hours because my consult the consult was about 2 hours because I had so many questions about different things that he saw. But when he first began speaking to me, he told me things about my life that only I knew. Only I knew. So I was impressed from that moment when you opened your mouth. So I understand, I overstand the experience that you had with Dr. Wyatt. But please do continue.
Yeah, so he was telling me things about myself, and then he started to test me to see what type of herbs that I needed to help bring my body back into balance. He put me on 22 different herbs, which is a lot, but I wanted to live, so I didn't mind. And so I was going through that process of taking these herbs, and I was getting better, feeling much stronger. Um, you know, the energy was just unbelievable at this point. And the medical doctors couldn't figure out how was I getting better? Like, how are you getting better and you're not taking any of our medicine? And I continued on my regimen, and my primary care doctor said to me, he said, "Well, what are you doing?" Because they're comparing notes, and they're like, how is this guy getting better? And I showed him my regimen, and he looked at it and he said, "Why are you taking all this stuff? These people don't do nothing but take your money." And I'm thinking in my head like, "Oh, well, that's money well spent because it's working. It's working." You know what I mean? And then he handed me back my regimen and he said, "What is he trying to do? Turn you into a Superman?"
Well,
I
because he
said,
knew.
yes, exactly. He didn't say, what is he trying to do? Kill you? He said, no.
Right.
He said, what is he trying to do? Turn you into a Superman. So, you know, after that experience, I knew I was doing the right thing. And finally, they had to admit that the imbalance, the incurable, was no longer there, no longer a problem.
So not only
So
was it no longer incurable, it no longer existed.
existed, exactly. And so, you know, I tell my clients all the time, I said, there's no incurable disease, just the knowledge of how to cure it. We sit up here and we take on these diseases and not really taking a critical look at how did they come about? You know what I mean? What caused it? You understand what I'm saying? We don't take a critical look at these things. And that is something that Dr. Wyatt did and he taught me to do. And it's something that I've carried on with me because it's so important to find out root causes. Why did this person develop this particular imbalance? You know, if instead of dealing with the names, you know, I tell people all the time that I can see 5 different people who, quote unquote, were told that they have high blood pressure and find 5 different reasons why they have high blood pressure. So I don't want to focus on the name. That's like chasing ghosts. That's not telling you what's going on. I want to find out what's causing it. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's how I can help you. Once I know what's the root cause, you know, I can see one person, they can have high blood pressure. Good. You ready to interject?
No, go right ahead.
Oh, okay. They can have high blood pressure because they don't get enough sleep. You can have another person, they get high blood pressure because they got a kidney infection, believe it or not. You can have a person who develops high blood pressure because they got a thyroid imbalance. You know, you can have a person who has high blood pressure because they don't know how to control their anger. They're angry all the time.
Well, I do have a question. So when you see clients, do you test clients differently? Is there the same process for all of your clients, or?
So because of modern technology, the process that I use is what I did with you. You know, have them send photos, eye photos, because the eyes tell so much. You know, the eyes are the window to the soul. That is true. That is so true. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I have them just send me eye photos. I can find out everything I want from those eye photos. You know what I'm saying? I mean, basically, that's all you did. And I was able to tell you things and you never told me, right? And I'm dead accurate in what I'm saying. So the eyes speak to a lot. The eyes tell a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
they told you everything. My eyes told you everything. Heavens to Murgatroyd. But go right ahead. I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying to you is that, you know, we just have to learn to understand this stuff. You know what I mean? Dr. Wyatt was always interested in getting to the root cause of the illness instead of dealing with the name of the illness because you're chasing ghosts at that point. You see, the names of disease justify drugs. I can't give you drugs unless I name the disease. But is that really what's going on with you? You understand what I'm saying? So the approach. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no, you know, I was thinking of something that you shared with me, and you were talking about trauma, and you were talking about how the body reacts the body reacts physically to emotions and things of that nature. It was all so interesting to me because you were so right. Everything that you were sharing with me about what you read or what you saw in my eyes, it told you the truth about everything. And
because you can't deal with things, Carol, from only a physical standpoint. Okay, there's also an emotional spiritual disconnection. Because you have to understand, and Dr. White used to say it all the time. He said, disease starts in the spiritual before it ever hits the physical. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand what's going on with that person emotionally as well that led to these so-called disease patterns. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, as far as like in the situation with high blood pressure, and you talking about a person who's dealing with anger. Well, you want to find out where the anger is coming from. Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? You understand what I'm saying? There's an area in the eye, in the sclera, which is the study of the whites of the eye, where you can see if that person has anger. It's called the emotional liver. And when you see the markings in that area of the eye, okay, you know that that person has anger issues. Now, once you determine that, you need to find out why are they angry? What caused it? Where did it start from? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it came from their childhood. It could have started in their childhood. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there, Carol, who are hurt. A lot of people out there who are hurting. You know, I always have this saying. I said, hurt people hurt people. So
you hear that all the time.
What you see out here going on is a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. You understand what I'm saying? And people crying out for help, you know, and taking a lot of these drugs aren't helping the problem. It's pacifying the situation, but it's not helping the problem. You're not getting to why this person is this way in the first place. You understand what I'm saying?
No, you're absolutely right about that. You are absolutely right. Family, hi there. I've not forgotten about you. Welcome. If you have just joined us, welcome as well. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with David Levy-Bey, also known as Brother Dave. And we are talking about health. We're talking about wellness. We're talking about a holistic approach to life. And I was sharing earlier, or a few moments ago, if you will, that I had a consult with Brother Dave, and all I did was send him pictures of my eyes. That's all I did. Today is the first time I'm actually seeing Brother Dave. I had never seen him prior to today, and in my consult, he told me so many things about my body, about my spirit, about just so many things about my emotions that were all true. All true. And I am not saying this, family. I was so impressed that I asked him to come on and talk with us about what it is that he actually does and how he's able to do what it is that he actually does. When he shared with me that he studied for 7 years under Dr. Frank Wyatt, I asked more. So please tell me more. Tell me more. We talk so much about that. But I would love for you to tell us why it was important for you to study with Dr. White after we come back from this commercial break. We have a commercial break to go to in a moment, but I would love to know why it was important for you to study with Dr. Wyatt. I do want to share that our family members are continuing to check in. Mizzy G, Sink Blue, Pamela Bottoms, Cooper, Heather Wilson, Rosalind, Miss Rosalind. Hi there, beautiful. Miss Lily, Darren. Hey, Smitty. Eric, just Alfred Evans, Sandra Streeter. Everybody is checking in, and I'm so happy to see you all here. One quick question before that question. Eric would like to know, he shares that he saw an amazing painting on one of your Facebook clips of Dr. Wyatt, and he's asking if you could tell us who that talented artist is. Look at you doing research. Look at you, Eric. Look, I love it. Malcolm is in agreement with everything you says. He shares, that's real talk. And Pamela as well. Hey there, cuz. She shares speaking truth. Yes. And Mardia, I was sharing with you all that Mardia suggested that I go see Brother Dave. She said, she told me she had gone to see him, and she said, Carol, you have to talk with him. And she shares, I have had my eyes looked at by Brother David, and he is definitely spot on. Cynthia says, thank you so much for this topic. Thank you. Thank you. I can't even listen. It was him. after the conversation I had with him, that I said, okay, so please, can I share you with our family members, please? Family, we're going to take just a short commercial break, but know that the phone lines are open, and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. I did ask Brother David a question, but we are going to go to the phone lines first when we come back from commercial break. So, family, stay with us. We will be right back.
WURD presents the immortal words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I accept the Nobel Prize for Peace at a moment when 22 million Negroes of the United States are engaged in a creative battle to end the long night of racial injustice. I accept this award on behalf of a civil rights movement which is moving with determination. I'm mindful that only yesterday in Birmingham, Alabama, our children crying out for brotherhood were answered with fire hoses, snarling dogs, and even death. I am mindful that only yesterday in Philadelphia, Mississippi, young people seeking to secure the right to vote were brutalized and murdered. I am mindful that debilitating and grinding poverty afflicts my people and chains them to the lowest rung of the economic ladder. Therefore, I must ask why this prize is awarded to a movement which is beleaguered and committed to unrelenting struggle, to a movement which has not yet won the very peace and brotherhood which is the essence of the Nobel Prize.
This Martin Luther King vignette was brought to you by Comcast, the Pennsylvania Lottery, PECO, Keystone First, and the Philadelphia Water Department.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy. Voting time in 2024. Yes, voting time in 2024. I hope you did your best and took a little rest. But now it's time to soar for us 2024. Yes, it's voting time. I said it's voting time. Gather women and men on whom you can depend. Take your friends who won't ignore. Cause it's voting time in 2024. Say it with pride. I register, I vote, I must. You may have buttons that say, I register, I vote, I must. Say it on the radio, the TV, the cell phone, or the landline. I register, I vote, I must. This is Dr. Lucille Ijoy. I register, I vote, I must.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. If there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanted to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black talk media, WURD.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black talk media.
I think I know what love is.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. As promised, we're going to go to our phone lines because our family members would like to join the conversation. We have Rashana, I believe, on line one. Hello, and thank you so much for calling.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me clear enough?
Sure can. Yes, thank you so much for calling.
Great. Yes. Dr. Wyatt, did he own University City Herbs out in West Philadelphia for a number of years before he died? Is this the same Dr. Wyatt he's talking about?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I went there. I was there for a long time in the late 90s, early 2000s. And one of the people that were under Wyatt did the iridology, did my eye. Was it you? Because when did you do iridology?
So I came on the scene in 2004.
Okay, no. It might have been another.
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Doc actually purchased University Herbs around 2000. He
early 2000, right?
Yeah, before Dr. Wyatt, that store was owned by a man by the name of Richard Hill, and that's who Dr. Wyatt bought the store from.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. And then all of a sudden I heard he died, and I was totally shocked because what did he die? Something. I don't know. Are you allowed to discuss it, his death, or?
Let me just say this. I'm not going to say exactly what he died from, but I want y'all to know that, in this field, we face lots of obstacles. In 2011, 35 to 40 naturopathic doctors were murdered that year. So, think about it.
Mm.
All right.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. I was going to go on about University City Herbs because I think after his death, things were not the same like they used to be because the family took over, but it wasn't like it was before, right? University City. I don't even go there anymore, but
it's not even open anymore.
It's not? Okay, thank you for
No.
that information. Okay, so that is a done deal. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna go out there thinking I can get to it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I need to know.
Okay.
Well, thank
All right.
you. Thank
All
you for calling. We're going to go to line 2. Thank you for calling. Thank you for your patience.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am well, thank you. And you?
I am well. Thank you very much. My name is Mace. I'm calling out of South Philly. I've been blessed with a beautiful lady in my life. She takes care of my hair. She teaches me about my hair and what I need to do for it. And she had recommended I listen to the show this evening. And it was so crazy. Her and I had this conversation yesterday because she was checking in on something else. And ended up segueing into, I want you to go ahead and set up a consultation with this herbalist. He had looked at me. He had taken care of me. And since he's seen me, I've been on point. I want you to invest in yourself and do this. I said, oh, okay. She said, but before we go any further, I want you to listen to the radio show. No doubt. I got you, babe. So, was calling in to find out, how do I prepare myself to come in for my consultation and to have my eyes read?
So, you can give me a call. Do you have a pen?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, you can call me at 856-209-4379, or you can email me at Levy. Now this is spelled different. Levy, Leavy 83 at gmail.com. So you can
one more time, please.
Yeah, sure. The email is Levy, right? First initial D, Levy, Leavy 83 at gmail.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I want you.
Thank you so much for calling. And line 3. Hey there, James. Welcome to the conversation. And thank you for your patience.
You're welcome, Mrs. Briggs. Good evening to everyone. I love you. Just to rewind, Doc, you talked about the eyes and how they tell a whole lot on the the technical perspective. Just to rewind again, when the pandemic first came out, everybody was wearing face masks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something about the eyes. Give y'all a quick subliminal. It was a sister used to come inside my store, and she had the most wonderful eyes. I mean, face covered up, that's all you could see, of course. And I was so mesmerized by the eyes. My point being, it's something about the eyes when you can just look into someone's eyes and just read the soul from an emotional perspective. Could you explain that?
Well, in iridology and sclerology, you can see imbalances in the body if something is going on. You can see emotional imbalances in the body if the person is going through something emotionally. There's a science that I do called pupil border dynamics that deals with the pupils and the shapes of the pupils. And when people have different imbalances, the pupil will change shape. To give you an example of what I'm talking about, I had a client that I was reviewing their eyes, and their pupil was in the shape of a diamond. Okay. When you see that, it lets you know that this person is suffering from depression. This person is easily angered. This person deals with a lot of self-pity. When I seen that in the eye, I knew that I was dealing with a person that was very depressed. But to show you how awesome God is, the next time I had a conversation with him, I didn't even have to tell him what I saw. He told me he was depressed. I already knew it because I seen it in his eye. So the eyes will tell you a whole lot. The eyes will tell you a whole lot. They are truly the window to the soul. They will tell you so many things about a person, you know, and there's different eye sciences. And I was fortunate enough to study all of them. You know, sclerology is the study of the whites of the eyes. You can see challenges in the body one day to a year before it actually manifests. When you talk about iridology, you can see degrees of inflammation and tissue damage in the eyes that let you know what's going on. You know, there's a science that was founded by a doctor by the name of Denny Johnson out of Colorado. It's called Red Model. Red Model deals with personality iridology. So you can see different personalities in individuals. The eyes tell you so much. They tell you so much. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a great resource to find out what's going on with the person. And then at that point, do the necessary things to bring that person back into balance. Because one thing that I will tell you is that when I see these challenges, I always have a solution for it. You understand what I'm saying? That's God though. God gave me that ability. You know? So yeah, you're absolutely right that the eyes do tell a lot.
I will tell you this. Well, actually, James, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the question and for calling. I do want to add to that because I was sharing with you all that Brother Dave read my eyes, and Brother Dave told me about trauma as I was sharing that had taken place. Not only did he tell me about the trauma, but he told me what the trauma was. And I was aware, no one else was aware. But he told me when the trauma happened in my life, and family, he was right about it. The years that he told me this trauma took place, he told me the trauma that took place. He told me there was trauma. He saw trauma, number one. Then he told me specifically what type of trauma it was. And then he told me that the years that this trauma took place. So when I tell you I was dumbfounded and I was sitting there and there was nothing I could say because he was absolutely right. He was absolutely right. But he saw all of this from reading my eyes. I do see that we have another family member waiting to call. If you will just hold for a moment, and Dave, if you will sit tight as well, please.
Sure.
Family, it's time for us to take another commercial break. But please stay with us because we're coming right back, and we're coming back to you, Lynette. I see you. I see you. We're coming right back to you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on Reality Check.
There are people like Dr. Gay who are caught up in this conflict in ways that seem unprecedented. Again, we're looking at, as the professor of history at University of Penn said, in addressing Elizabeth McGill's resignation from UPenn, that this is about the future of universities and who has the right to freedom of speech and what kind of freedom of speech. And that should be something that we all look at and say, what does this mean for the future? What does this mean? Basically, I feel as though Dr. Gay has been targeted at this point, and maybe she did not address things in the way that she should have as a new president of a university. Elizabeth McGill was in her role much longer. However, if you were saying that these are university presidents who are upholding the policy as stated for their university, then that is how they're going to answer these questions. But more than that, they have been reduced down in hours of testimony to a soundbite.
And that's your hottest 60 seconds this week from Reality Check on WURD Progressive. Black Talk Media.
Thinking about getting a new career in public health? PHMC, a nonprofit public health institute in Philadelphia, fosters a diverse, dynamic, and innovative workforce. PHMC is hiring in all areas of public health. Benefits include a pension, planned tuition discounts, and reimbursement, as well as generous paid time off. Learn about Public Health Management Corporation. Log on to mypublichealthcareer.org to view all open positions and find your place in public health.
Not all people are the same. And yet, when we visit the doctor, our treatments don't look that different. Why is that? Because we just don't have enough information to do it better. By gathering health data from 1 million people, our country's best researchers will be able to develop treatments that are as unique and complex as we are. With this new information, doctors will have a better understanding of disease so they can innovate the next great breakthroughs in medicine. Learn more at joinallofus.org.
Tune in every Saturday at 4 p.m. for the Did You Know Show with host Bryant Green, right here on WURD 96.1 FM and 900 AM.
Want to be heard on Word?
Yes, this is Miss Renee King out of Philadelphia.
Dial 215-634-8065 to join the conversation. Outside of Philly, dial 1-866-361-0900. First-time caller? Great. We would love to hear from you. Word is the voice of the African American community, so make yours heard. Please limit calls to once per day. Spread the word and tell a friend to tune in and join the conversation.
I'm jumping in with my clothes on.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See? That's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the US get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
We are the home of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life. We are talking with David Levy-Bey. We still have Dr. Z. She's here as well. But in this moment, we're going to go back to our phone lines because one of our family members has been waiting to join the conversation. Hi there. Thank you for calling, and thank you so much for your patience.
Oh, no problem. How's everyone this evening? Greetings and good evening.
Great.
Doing well. Thank you.
Good. Well, my name is Lynette, and I live in West Philadelphia, and I've been a client of Brother Dave's for about 10 years. When he texted me last night and told me that he was going to be on your radio show, and I was so excited to hear that you're now a client of his, and I said, well, she's a beautiful person, she's wonderful, and she's extremely talented, so I was really excited to hear that you're his client, and he was going to be talking about the show, talking about his herbs on your show, excuse me. Now, to anyone out there that wants to get healthy, I would strongly encourage you to make an appointment to see him and get tested. Over the years, there are just so many things that I've learned from him, and I'm a healthier person for it. Carol, I just want to welcome you to the herbal community, and if you stick with it, I promise you that you'll see and experience major changes in your mind, body, and spirit. And when you said that your first consultation was 5 hours, I was not surprised because David is a talker. But but when I'm telling you, for anyone that sees him, I mean, this man is amazing. It's like, I don't know, like, what I would do without a lot of the herbs that I take, because the herbs that David buys are from all over the world. The man grinds them, has his own formulas, and so they're not all the time just regular vitamins. He has various formulas, and I'd just like to share that about 6 years ago, I fractured my spine, and so I've always had inflammation issues ever since. And so there's a formula that he has for inflammation, but I've also eliminated nightshade vegetables from my diet, but there's an inflammation formula that I take that really, really helps out with my back. And just a final quick story that I take herbs twice a day, but sometimes that I don't get to take them twice a day. But to make a long story short, there were intermittent weeks where my back was hurting, and I realized that I wasn't taking my inflammation formula. So not having it in my system for a couple of days, I really feel a difference in my back, because I don't want to say I have constant pain in my back, but I don't think I'll ever be 100%. But with the inflammation formula that I get from Brother Dave, it really manages the pain. And it's just so many things. There's so many stories that I can say, that things that have happened to me health-wise over the years where herbs are really, really healing. And sometimes talk to people about herbs. Sometimes people aren't open to homeopathic remedies. People always want to believe what the doctors say, and they want to walk out with a prescription and think that it's better. These prescription drugs are killing us. They really, really are. And I just can't say enough about Brother Dave and what he means to my mother and I, because my mother takes herbs as well. And again, Dave, I love you, and he's a wonderful person, so knowledgeable, and will just really tell you what you need to do in order to get better, whatever your ailments are. And I don't want to say that he's a cure-all, but you really have to put in the work. You have to start eating healthy. You need to eliminate things from your diet. You want to eat for your blood type. I'm sure
Yes.
he may talk about point in the near future. There's certain foods that some people shouldn't eat, and what he mentioned earlier about how not all herbs are for everyone. Like there's a period of time, like when Dr. Oz, as an example, was very popular, and he talked about all these different types of herbs and things that on his show, and then everyone would run out and buy these particular herbs. Well, all herbs are not for everyone.
That's right.
And so when Dave tests you, and he'll tell you what is deficient in your body. So if you take a multivitamin as an example, there may be certain elements in the multivitamin that you don't need. So he really tests you and tell you about what the vitamins or what nutrients that you need for your body. But again, you have to do the work. You really have to be diligent and be with taking the vitamins whatever he says, the amount that he says. Stay on them, and you will definitely again see and experience major changes in your mind, body, and spirit. Thanks for having me on.
Lynette, I can't thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough. And I agree with every single thing she just said. Dave, I would like for you, just because I was sharing with our family members, about the consultation that I had with you. Can you share with our family members what the consultation, what exactly of which it consists? You were telling me about amino acids, about vitamin deficiencies, just that, not my specific or particulars,
Right,
but
right.
what you share with us.
Well, I mean, the situations, everybody's different. So that's why it's like putting together your own blueprint. Dr. White wrote the book, The Body Blueprint. Everybody's different. So when I find the imbalances in your body, I'm putting together the herbs that are designed to help your specific needs. And so people have many different situations that led to these imbalances. You know what I'm saying? Like amino acids are very, very important because they are your protein building blocks. And a lot of us are amino acid deficient because we don't understand what amino acids are. And if I gave you a simple analogy of it, it's like if you had a house that had no mortar between the bricks, you have an unstable foundation. Well, when your body's deficient in aminos, you have an unstable foundation. We have to build your body back up. That's why you see bodybuilders take aminos. Now they might abuse them.
Right.
But we all need amino acids. And often it's overlooked. You know what I mean? Because they're very, very necessary into bringing the body back into balance. They're very necessary.
You talked about amino acids. You talked about vitamin deficiencies with me. You shared something that, everything you shared was of interest, but flowers as well.
So bioflower remedies, now that deal with emotional state. So you have these flower remedies that was developed by a doctor by the name of Edward Bach, who realized that flowers have emotional states. They have frequencies. Okay. And so he discovered 38 different flowers that deal with 38 different emotional states. And a lot of times when you're dealing with someone and they got some deeply rooted emotional stuff going on, you have to deal with that emotional state to bring that body back into balance. You can't just look at everything from a physical standpoint. So if they're dealing with some serious emotional stuff, I use Bach flowers to assist me in dealing with the emotional stuff, the emotional trauma. You know what I'm saying? The things that cause people to act out and they don't know why. The Bach flowers deal with these emotions. And good.
Well, I was going to say, one of our family members has a question. Alfred is asking, what is the background for obtaining the knowledge in the study of the eyes, educationally and spiritually?
So learning these eye sciences, there's a school that you could go to, a school that Dr. Wyatt went to, a school that I went to. It's called Trinity School of Natural Health. And they have an iridology program. And you could go to that school and learn how to read the eyes. You know, when I went to Trinity, I already knew how to read eyes because I already had studied under Dr. Wyatt for 7 years. He taught me. You know what I'm saying? I was under the tutelage of a master teacher. And, you know, when I was doing my finals, I had to do 5 evaluations, you know, and if you had the skill set, you could use iridology, but it wasn't a requirement in your analysis. Well, because I had the skill set, I used it. And my professor said to me that she had never had a student that had done such a thorough analysis as what I had done. But then I told her where that knowledge came from. You know, Dr. Wyatt not only taught me, but he put me in the hands of some of the best in the world. Well, I just mentioned Dr. Denny Johnson, you know, that developed the red model, which is called personality iridology. Dr. Wyatt brought Dr. Denny Johnson to me. Okay. I'm talking about people like trying to slip on my mind. I'm so sorry. Dr. Leonard Mollmauer. Dr. Leonard Mollmauer is one of the world's authority on sclerology. Okay. Dr. Wyatt brought that knowledge to us. You know, so I went to that school already knowing how to do that. You know, because of my training, because I was trained by a man who was so thorough in his knowledge. You know, so, and I'm eternally grateful for that. You know, and I'm so thankful to God for putting me in that man's space. You know, I always told Dr. Wyatt, I said, God sent me to you. You know, and I'm so thankful that he did. You know, because I found out what my mission in life was.
Alfred is asking if you could repeat the name of the school once more.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry to interject.
Trinity. Yeah, it's called Trinity School of Natural Health. Trinity School of Natural Health.
Well, I do want to share that Aaliyah shares that Brother Dave is the truth. She shares that I've been a client of his for a little over a year, and he has been spot on, down to my blood type and food choices. He is such a blessing. Same here. Same here. Listen, I mean, now I know I'm a new client, but like I said, everything he said to me and about me was spot on, spot on. Hey there, Cheryl. Hey, Love Bug. She's sharing that she's interested in this conversation and she is listening on the radio. That's Cheryl Mobley Stimpson. It's just, first of all, it's just a pleasure to have this conversation and to have you here with us. I'm so grateful to you for obliging to come. Nicole Fortune is sharing that this is such a great topic. This man is very knowledgeable. I'm glad he is on your show so others can learn about him and get the help they need. I'm happy about that. Oh, I do want to share with our family members once again how to contact you, those who have an interest in doing so. Dave, would you share once more, please?
Yes. The phone number to reach me at is 856-209-4379. Okay, that's 856-209-4379. Or you can email me at dlevy, that's D, first initial, last name Leavy, 83 at gmail.com. You know, I wanted to say something, you know, before we get off. I just wanted to just speak on how awesome God is. And when you're a master herbalist, you're in tune with nature so you can see God's glory. Let me tell you how awesome God is, folks. God is with us. He's always been with us. And even in these times like a pandemic, God has been with us. But you got to have the eyes to see. You know, back in 2020, right? I don't know if anybody was paying attention to this, but there were a lot of white flowers blooming in the spring of 2020. And they were blooming all over the place in the same places where you normally would see dandelion. Okay? And I kept wondering to myself and saying, why are these white flowers blooming all over the place? Where's the dandelion at? Where's the dandelion?
Mm.
And so one day I was sitting in a field. I was actually on an island across from my car dealership getting my car fixed. I'm sitting in the grass, and I'm sitting among these white flowers. And I said, I want to smell them. I thought that it might smell bad. And I grabbed them and I smelt them, and the fragrance was so awesome. It was beautiful. And I said, okay, I'm an herbalist. I need to study these flowers. These flowers turned out to be white clover. And if you look at white clover is a herb that helps to repair the respiratory system, helps to fight
Mm.
off colds, flu, and bronchitis. Tell me, what did COVID-19 do? It caused respiratory problems, didn't it? But guess how great God is? God put something there for your respiratory system to let you know that He was with you during that time. You see, there's a saying in the Holy Quran that says, man plans and Allah plans, but Allah is the best of all planners. God is with you. He is with you. He is real. Okay? He said, I put herbs here for the healing of the nations. And He meant that. He meant that. Okay? And that's what we got to go back to. Go back to what God said. You
How
can't go
about that?
wrong.
How about that? How
You
about
can't go
that?
wrong.
How do you determine which? Now, I will say this because we've shared with our family members your different skill sets. How do you determine which one of your skill sets, which one of your skill sets you'll use to examine an individual or client?
It goes by the individual because some things might be required more than me just dealing with the irises. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
when I'm in person with someone, I might do kinesiology. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because
Okay.
that's one of the modalities. Dr. Wyatt was always talking about having more than one tool in your diagnosis because if you keep seeing it, you know, doing iridology, doing physiognomy, which is the study of the face, hands, tongue. If you see it there, if you see it in the eyes, you know what I'm saying? You know something's going on. If you do kinesiology and you go over the energy points where you could track down the vitamin and mineral deficiencies. If it keeps coming up, it's obviously a problem. But you got so many different resources to make the determination is if what you're seeing actually is what it is. You understand? Therefore, you know, what you use depends on the situation at that time. One
Okay.
modality might be suffice, but depending on what's going on with that person, you might have to tap into another skill.
Understood.
So
Understood. Um,
yeah.
I want to take a moment. I'm so sorry, Dave, because I
No,
hate
it's fine.
interrupting you.
It's fine.
I just want to take a moment to go to our phone lines. One of our family members, our beloved, is on the phone. Hi, Mama D. Welcome to the conversation, and
Thank you.
thank you for calling.
Thank you so much, and peace and blessings and much love to each and every one of you there and throughout the Word family. I am so grateful for this opportunity. I was distracted with someone else prior to, and I didn't catch the program from the top. But when I heard each of you sharing the information and your experience, I would have to say to Brother Dave, and I believe that it was Dr. Frank Wyatt
Yes.
that
Yes,
you were
ma'am.
speaking of. I want to thank you and bless you for lifting up his name. I thank the Most High Creator, the angels, and the ancestors that you had the opportunity to study with him because, as you know, he was absolutely a brilliant researcher
Yes, he
and a
was.
gifted individual. And I am just feeling so grateful that we have you now to continue his work. And I am going to say to all of those who have ears to hear, eyes to see, and a heart to care, listen to Brother Dave and understand that he is also a blessing from the Creator, the angels, and the ancestors. And we must honor and protect him and cherish what he shares.
Thank you, Mama D.
You're
Thank you so
much. And thank you, my lovely dear, for all the love that you share. Because as you all know, our community is in need of returning to our natural selves.
Yes.
And it's all about love.
Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
ma'am.
Because our environment is so distracting. And I must say, I know and I understand why so many are in love with the technology and these so-called cell phones. However, I want you to know also, everything has its place. However, you must not let these cell phones take the place of that which is really important, and they have become truly distractions to us, and in so many ways detrimental to us.
Yeah.
And thank you all so very much. Thank you for this opportunity, and keep sharing and spreading the love.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
you so
much,
much.
Mama D. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I am beyond words. Mama D is just love personified.
Yes.
And it just feels like a hug to my heart when she
Yes.
speaks. Family, hi there. Welcome, 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 especially if you have just tuned in. You're tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. We are talking with David Levy-Bey, and we are talking about holistic health and healing. Dr. Z has been in the background, but I want to invite her to the conversation. And I'm going to do so. Dave, are you going to hang out? You're going to stick around? Well, I love it. I love it. I love it. So, family, thank you, Dave. We're going to take just a short commercial break, but when we come back, it's going to be me, you, Brother Dave, and Dr. Z. So stay with us because we are coming right back.
Words of empowerment.
Sophia Warren Moore. I'm a fourth generation editor and publisher of Positive Black News. The Black press is the voice of Black America. It's so important for us to have our own voices spoken from our own perspective and our own narratives. So that's really important for us to be able to have our own messages. I support Word, their 20th anniversary. Absolutely. I think it takes a village. I think that's the biggest and best thing that I learned from our community, because it takes a community. And that's also for individuals, businesses, everything that you do. It takes a village. No one can do anything alone but God.
This is Words of Joy and Empowerment on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Audio provided by Love Now Media. These Words of Joy and Empowerment are brought to you by Keystone First.
Get ready. It's time to fuel Philly. The 2024 Auto Show parts at the Pennsylvania Convention Center January 13th through the 21st. We're fueling innovation on our interactive e-track, sponsored by Pico. Aftermarket more your style? Fuel your creativity in our largest ever custom alley. And fuel nostalgia at Back in the Day Way. Tickets on sale now at phillyautoshow.com. Find what fuels you. Proudly sponsored by NJM Insurance Group.
Did you know that on average, customers who use natural gas from PGW for heating, cooking, and clothes drying save more money on their energy bills per year than those that don't? And right now, a LIHEAP grant from PGW can help you save even more. Don't miss out on up to $1,000 of free money. It's simple. Just text money to 77037 or visit pgworks.com/LIHEAP. That's MONEY to 77037. PGW, helping ease minds this winter.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. So, you know, we normally have Thursdays with Dr. Z in, well, sometimes it's for the whole show, but tonight it was going to be for the 8 o'clock hour. But we've been talking so much with Brother Dave about a holistic lifestyle, and I've been sharing so much with you about my own journey, Dr. Z. Now, you know, we talk offline. But when I tell you I did not share this with you yet, only because we had not spoken, But I'm going to share this with those of you who are just, you know, coming into the conversation, and with you, Dr. Z. Welcome, by the way. Hi there.
Hello.
Dr. Z, Brother Dave, Dr. Z.
How you doing?
So my good cookie girlfriend, Mardia Reed, she does my hair, by the way. She said to me, I went to see this holistic doctor, and she said his name is David Levy, and she said, all I'm going to say is that you need to see him. And I said, huh? And she said, all I'm going to say is that you need to see him. And she repeated it. I said, okay. So I texted him, and I said, you know, I was referred by Mardia, and he said, okay. He told me the process. He said, send me some pictures of your eyes, and he sent me some examples of what he needed specifically. I said, okay. I'm like, okay. So Mardia, she took the photos for me, so I would know exactly what I was sending was correct, what was needed to send. And he said he sent me a follow-up text after I sent him the photos of my eyes, and he shared your consultation will be from either an hour to an hour and a half. So make sure that when I schedule the consultation, after I've had time to examine the pictures you've sent, that you set aside at least an hour and a half for us to talk about my findings. So I said, okay, all right, okay, no problem. You know, still like, okay, all right. So he and let me tell you, this is God, because I didn't have a full day. I don't typically have 5 hours, a block of 5 hours to do anything. But when I tell you I talked with this man for 5 hours. I don't know that I've ever done that with another human being. I don't know that I've ever been I don't know that I've ever done that. But I'm sharing, and I said to him in that conversation, please come on to my show. Please come and talk with our family members, because I thought everything that had taken place in that conversation was so extraordinary. He was talking with me about trauma, about emotional situations, emotional trauma. He talked with me about, like, we shared amino acids, about vitamin deficiencies, about just so, and from the first thing that yes, minerals as well. From the first thing that he shared with me, he was spot on. He identified a specific trauma that had taken place in my life, that had taken place a few times. Not only did he identify the trauma, but he identified the years that it took place, the age I was when it took place. So I was sitting, I had my little pen. I was so dumbfounded. I missed that whole part of the note taking, because I could not believe everything. Like, some things that he told me that had actually taken place in my life, I had never shared with anyone, with not another human being. So I say this to you, he was sharing with me, different things and what he suggests um, for my wellness journey. And I'm here for it. I am now a new client. I am now a new client, Dr. Z.
Yeah.
So I know. So I had to have him come on and as you've heard, some other family members talk about the same way, the same thing, or having had experiences with Brother Dave. So I said, okay, Dr. Z has to come into this conversation.
Yes. Yes. I was in the background. Sign me up. I'm writing the number down. Yeah. I text Carol. I said, keep talking. Don't worry about what I was going to say. I was up to doing this conversation.
She sure did. I said, I'm so sorry, Dr. Z. I know we're your time. She said, keep talking.
Wow.
She said, I am
that's
listening.
God.
So
that ain't nothing but God.
You know what? I'm curious to know, Brother Dave, when you talked about having mentored with Dr. Wyatt, what did that entail?
It was an awesome journey, because training under Dr. Wyatt, and fellow students could admit to this, it's not easy. A lot of them never finished training because he was taskmaster. You know what I'm saying? But he wanted you to be good. You know what I mean? And Dr. Wyatt knew everybody who was around him, so he knew who had the heart to do this stuff and who didn't. And so therefore, some might not have gotten the teachings that others may have gotten. You understand? Because he knew their heart. Because this whole journey is about the heart. You gotta have a heart for this. And when I was going through my journey with the liver disease, it's such an emotional experience. It's such an emotional experience because every organ and gland is connected to an emotional state, and the liver is connected to the tears. You know what I'm saying? So when I was going through that, I did a lot of crying, and tears are healing for the liver because you're getting those emotions out. The liver is the store of all emotions, and you're getting those emotions out. And Dr. Wyatt knew that I had a heart for this because once I got well, I just did not want to go on about my day and living my life regular again. I wanted to be able to go out there and help people because I knew God spared my life. He spared my life. So therefore, because he spared my life, I owed it to God to go out there and help his people. And that's why I went under Dr. Wyatt's tutelage and learned from him. It was a wonderful journey. Every book he told me to read, I read. I don't care how thick it was. Some of these books was like, I don't know if you can see my hand, but some of these books were like thick. I didn't care. And he knew that I read them because I would come back and quote from them. So he knew I had read them. And anything he suggested, I was like a sponge, just soaking in everything. And I traveled around the country with him, and I had so much love for him that in the middle of lectures when he would bring somebody up and diagnose them and find out what was going on, because of my own experience, I would literally be standing right beside him breaking down. And I couldn't help it because it's an emotional journey. It was an emotional journey. And it was nothing that I would not do for him. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing that I would not do for him because of the experience that he gave me, because he saved my life, and because he sacrificed his. That I know I had to go out there and continue to work. You know what I'm saying? I had to go out there and continue to do God's work. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to pick up the torch. I had to go out there and continue to do it. It's
I
a love.
definitely understand
It's
that.
it's definitely a love journey. He told me. He said, "Do it for the love." He said, "Do it for the love." He said, "The money will come. Do it for the love. Love the one that's in
Mhm.
front of you. Don't be in a rush to get to the next person. Love the person that's in front of you." That's how we can have a
Mm.
5-hour conversation. It was only supposed to be an hour and a half, but love said it had to go longer than that. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That
I
that's
do. We talked about
what it's about.
everything. We talked
That,
about everything. We talked about cell salts. We talked
yeah,
about astrology.
yes.
We talked about minerals. We talked about vitamins. We talked about everything. I did not know I could talk that much, but we talked about I found that about myself. I found that out too. I had no idea. I said, "Wait, what? What time?" I had no idea that I could talk that much, but I found that out too. One other thing, I'm curious to know,
Hmm.
how do you determine like what herbs
Hmm.
to use? I know you said like you talked about flowers, the Bach flowers when you're testing for someone. Like, just do
Hmm.
are things like that easy for you to identify, or do you have to go through a series of
It's
testing
energy.
things in order?
Yeah, I'm actually using energy to do it. I'm
Okay.
using energy. I don't. This might sound crazy, but like I don't have to be in your presence to feel your energy. You understand what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
mhm,
You,
mhm.
it, if you think about a person long enough, you can take on their energy. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
That's true.
I don't actually have to be in your presence to take on your energy. But
Mhm,
but I'm doing it in a loving way. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to see you get well. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Sometimes we can take on a person's energy and it's bad energy because that person is negative, and if you think about them too much, you take on that energy and it breaks you down. So it's like
Mhm.
you have to be very skilled in order to understand how to treat it correctly. You know what I'm saying? In other words,
Right, right.
to whom much is given, much is required. You know what I mean? You definitely want to be very careful about how you deal with people's energy.
You talked to us about pupil border dynamics.
Hmm.
How does that differ from iridology?
So the border dynamics is just the study of the pupil itself, where
Okay.
because of the shape of the pupil, and you really need to have a magnifying glass, or even with today's technology, these cell phones, you can blow it up till you can see to that point,
Mhm.
but you can really see shapes. It could show you disease patterns that person is going through. It can show you
Mhm.
emotional patterns that person is going through. But it's very helpful in your overall analysis to bring that person back into balance, because you can see what's going on with them. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Same with sclerology, which is the study of the whites of the eyes. You know, and the same with iridology, which is the study of the iris. They all give you information. And then physiognomy, which is the study of the hands, face, and tongue. Like, they give you information. Like, you can literally stand and look at a person and see different degrees of inflammation in their face and see what's going on. Because different areas of your face represents different parts of your body. You know,
Sure,
your
sure. That
forehead
makes
represents your intestines. Your cheekbones represent your lungs. Your chin, or right underneath your lip, it represents your reproductive system. Like, you can literally see challenges just by literally looking someone in the face, and you can see things that are going on. Dr. Wyatt said to me, he said, "Dave, you're going to get so good at this, you want to cover your eyes
I can only imagine. Well, yeah,
because
you
you."
told me that he would look at people
Mhm.
and he would be able to identify challenges and issues and illness
There
that
was
these
never not a
individuals.
no. Good. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I'm sorry.
No, there was never not a time that he did not know who was in the room. He always
Mm,
knew who was in the room. He knew who was in the room, who was his enemy, who was his friend. You know what I'm saying? Who needed his help.
Right.
He never did not know what was going on. That was the gift that he had. You know, he was a grand master of Wing Chun. He came from the same lineage as Bruce Lee. You know, he was taught. I showed you the pictures. You
You
know,
did. I mean, this is how we talked for 5 hours because I was so amazed, and I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan.
as was
And I
I.
was reading about when Chung. Yes, I said, what? What?
Yeah.
So when he sent me photos of, I mean, just I was in awe of everything.
Actual
Family.
photos of Moyat, who was Dr. Wyatt's Sifu, who was a disciple of Ip Man. And so, you know, to prove it to you, I showed you the pictures with Moyat and Ip Man. I
You
showed you the pictures with
did.
Bruce Lee and Ip Man. You know, I showed you the pictures with
I was
Dr. Wyatt and Moyat. You
I
know,
was in awe. Do you hear me? I keep looking at these photos. Family, I was about to say, if you have just joined us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, we've got a lot more going on, a lot more to discuss, and not enough time to do it. But in this moment, we're going to take just a short commercial break. And when we come back, we are going to the phone line. So, family, stay with us because we're coming right back.
The job search can be a difficult and frustrating process. Word's Livelihood Initiative was designed to help you find the right opportunity for your next professional move. Check out these recent openings posted on the Livelihood job board at wordworks.com. The Chambers of Commerce for Greater Philadelphia is hiring a research analyst. Penn Community Bank is hiring a customer service representative. For more information on these jobs and others, go to wordworks.com and learn more about the Livelihood Initiative, brought to you by Word Radio, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey girl, what are you doing here? Aren't you going to be late for work?
Yeah, girl, I had to get my coffee and my lottery tickets.
You still play the lottery? You think you're going to win?
Says who? There's always a chance. Besides, even if I don't win, I'm helping out older Pennsylvanians in my community with each lottery ticket I buy.
How so?
Well, the PA lottery was started as a way to fund programs for seniors in our state. They've contributed over $30 billion to many programs.
$30 billion with a B?
Yes, billion. The money goes to programs for property tax and rent rebates, free or reduced rides, low-cost prescriptions, home care services, and more.
I had no idea.
Yep, the PA lottery is the only state lottery whose proceeds benefit older citizens.
You know what? I think I'll get a few lottery tickets too.
There you go. Could you give me a coffee while you're at it?
Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Problem gambling, helpline 1-800-GAMBLER.
We've all felt left out. And for people who move to this country, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It's too black, which means it's too strong.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Welcome back, family. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. As promised, we are going to go to our phone lines because one of our family members is waiting to join the conversation. Hello, and thank you so much for your patience and for calling.
Hi, good evening. This is Mardia. Can you hear me well?
Hi, Mardia. Yes, we can.
Hey, guys. I heard other people calling in. So first of all, Dave, when I see you, I will not be looking at you because I do not need you to read me. That's how we're going to start that. Number two, I know you really, really do miss Dr. Wyatt because he was such an amazing man.
Yes,
I got a chance with my ex-husband to actually get a reading from Dr. Wyatt. So when I found out Dave studied under him. It was just no question in my mind. So I really quick want to give you a quick synopsis of Dave and how I got to the herb doctor. Dave, if you don't mind me just
Sure.
going to your business, just a corner bit. Is that all right?
That's all right.
So Dave and my ex-husband are friends. We used to hang out, blah, blah, blah. So I saw Dave one day, and Dave gave us the same story. So let me just keep it 100. We were out in a bar about 20 years ago. It was a long time. And we went to give Dave a drink. And Dave said, "Nah, I don't want a drink." And we were like, "Oh, okay." And he gave us the story about his kidney.
Liver.
And he said, "I went to see this doctor, and basically the problem was born." He strongly suggested that we see him because my ex-husband had a stroke, aneurysm. He was not in a great place. And the reason we were at the bar, because they was giving him a fundraiser, because we were down on luck. We had absolutely nothing, him being the breadwinner. So when he went down for 5 months, we were like, what's going to happen? So his friends got together, gave us a fish fry, and then that's where we saw Dave. And Dave said, "I strongly suggest you go see Dr. Wyatt." Now, I had no clue, but I trusted Dave. I said, let me just see what he's talking about. I mean, with all the medicine the doctors are giving him, let's just go give it a try. And we walked into Dr. Wyatt's office, and he was over the counter like it was yesterday. And he said to my ex-husband, "Open your eyes." And when he finished, everything that the doctor told him was wrong. Dr. Wyatt said it was wrong. And I was on the side like, how? This was the first time I've ever heard about reading of the eyes. And I'm like, how did he just do that? I was looking a little weird, like, how did he just, that's like kind of weird.
Yeah.
But everything plus more that the doctor said, he was spot on. And I was like, and he gave him a herbal package. I want you to take, and the store was full of herbs. He said, "I want this, I want you to take this, and we did it. Unfortunately, he didn't stick with the plan, but he's still alive, right? But I know he could have been much better. But back then, I really didn't understand the power of herbs because I just trusted Dave and I did it, right? But today, my God, if I really understood the power of what was happening, again, he's alive and he's functioning, but I know he would have been mentally in a better state.
Mm-hmm.
So it was no question when I was in my place of business and we got to talk. And I said, wait a minute, I know a God. And I'm telling you, I have been on a crusade ever since because what he shared with me, as Carol Riddick just said, my mouth was hanging open. I'm like, how do you know that about me? I already know him like this. So how did he was taking some things and I was like, wow, he has changed the trajectory of everything. Because he hit things that I didn't even know what was wrong. He told me, you're highly allergic to cats and dogs. And I'm like, I am. Like, because I've never told him anything about my personal history. And we know our doctor's records are HIPAA, so he can't go into those ways. But when he was telling me things, he was telling me trauma, and I was like, when I hung up with him, I probably sat still for an hour. Because I was just sitting there like, when he said that, and as I was going into my brain and praying, I was like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. So I want to say this to encourage the medicine. I am not a fan of it. Sorry, Doc. No disrespect. That's just how I was raised, right? So it's just so important to have I call it the eye test. Your doctor, nothing against that. You still should go see them, But the things that you gave me, Dave, I sit them every day. And that's why when I look into somebody's eyes and I see certain things, I'll be like, you ever heard of having your eyes checked? Because now I'm more aware. I see a brown spot. I'll be like, that can't be good. Anybody I'm talking to, or they say, I got this going on, just try it. I mean, just give it a try. So I won't hold the phone for long, but Dave, I want to say thank you so much. Carol, thank you for trusting me and having your eyes done. And then I had no idea that he would be a guest on this. It wasn't even in my thoughts And when he said I'm gonna be on Pearl's show, I was like, yeah, why wouldn't he be? That's weird. But it was never. I was so concerned about Pearl, and not because I saw something. That's my homegirl. So I feel like if it's good for me, it's good for her, and she feels the same way. Hopefully, she does. But Dave, thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
girl. I appreciate. And everybody
you,
on
Mud.
his voice, just give it a try. It can't hurt.
Thank Well, thank you, Marty. Thank you
Marty,
so much.
thank you. Yes, I appreciate you so much. You just don't know. You know, to piggyback off that story about having allergies to cat and dog dander, there was a a situation. I'm not naming names, but this couple was having some issues with their daughter's digestive system, and they were taking her to the hospital, and she would spend days in the hospital, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. And I had offered my services, but a lot of times people don't know what it is that you do, so they'd be like, "Oh, I don't know," and after finally just basically giving up because the medical doctors, and she was roughly about 4 years old at this point, the medical doctors just couldn't figure out what was going on for her digestive system. And when they finally agreed to let me check her out, I was able to find out that her allergies to cats was part of the reason why her digestive system was shutting down. Because cats and dogs are very parasitic. Their hairs carry parasites, and parasites can shut down your digestive system. You understand what I'm saying? And so because they weren't aware that she was allergic to the cat, because it didn't come in the form of her eyes running or she sneezing and stuff like that. Allergies come in many different forms, and shutting down your digestive system is one of them. And so, I was able to help her with that. And then understanding astrology, because she's a Libra, and Libra deals with the intestines. And most Libras have intestinal issues. So I was able to,
to make the connection.
help correct that imbalance. Yes, just by having that knowledge. You know what I mean? But people got to understand that there are different things that you could be allergic to that you might not be aware of because you're not recognizing it as an allergy. It could come in the form of a headache. Think sometimes people eat stuff and they get a headache and don't realize it was because of the food. But that's an allergy. That's an allergy. You understand what I'm saying? There was a
It's just so much.
Yeah.
There's no. I'm sorry. First of all, I'm sorry to interject, but I'm looking at the time, and we're going to be here by ourselves in a minute because we're running out of time for the show. But I wanted to share. No, please, please don't at all. I had invited Dr. Z to the conversation because we were going to talk about this approach with mental health as well. But I'm going to share that for Dr. Z, if you don't mind, and Dave, Brother Dave, if you don't mind, because I would love for that to be a conversation as well. If we could do that at another time, because it's time for us to say goodnight to our family members. Family. OMG. Dave, thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Dave. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your time, energy, your attention, your spirit, your knowledge. Dr. Z, I'm so sorry because
no need to apologize. I am grateful. I felt like a student today. I wanted to take notes. This is such good information, and it's so necessary. And I'm here for it. I think it was a great conversation.
Thank you. I'm going to take. I know we have one family member that wants to speak just really quickly. Hi there, Dawn. Is it? Thank you, Dawn, for calling in. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I'm not going to keep you. I know you have to get ready and go. And I'm a first-time caller. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous with my voice.
No.
But this show has been, I just can't believe how enlightening this is. To Dr. Z, Carol, great show as always. I listened to you a lot, but I have never called. And to Brother Dave, real quick, Brother Dave, where are you located at?
So I actually don't have a brick and mortar business anymore.
Okay.
I just do everything from phone calls and email.
Okay. 'Cause I
So and then as far as regimens, I ship out. Whatever regimen that I did design for you, I ship it out to you.
I
So
just
that's
quickly now I'm going to send you an email in about a minute. That I caught it at the end of the show right here. But your callers, Carol, were great, and they've all informed me. And Brother Dave, you have informed me to things I really just never knew. It's just funny how you talk about God, because I just went to my doctor today, and just I just said, I wanted to call into Dr. Peterson earlier and didn't get a chance to. I said, let me listen to some love tonight. Let me hear Carol. And for me to hear you just makes me so excited. But I have an email getting ready to be sent to you to ask you a couple more questions, if you don't mind.
No problem.
To figure out how I can get to talk with you a little bit more. So everybody, good night. Have a great evening. Carol, thank you so much for this. And Carol, I'll be calling you again because you have a great, great show.
Oh,
so,
thank you, Dawn. Thank you.
Thank you. All of you. And I'll talk with you all soon. Brother Dave, look out for my my email, okay?
Absolutely will. I absolutely will. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Family, I'm
Yeah.
going to make this really, 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 really quick. Okay, to email Brother Dave, what you can do is email him at dlevy, DLEAVY 83 at gmail.com. If you want to call him, you can do so by dialing 1-856-209-4379. Family, praise God. Just praise God, from whom all blessings flow. You hear me? I'm so grateful. Just so grateful that you chose to spend your time with us, your time, your energy, your attention, and your spirit with us. Thank you to both Dr. Z, to Brother Dave. I mean, they'll both be back. Now, they're coming back. They're coming back. But just for, coming to spend some time with us tonight. Family, have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your night. Remember that we're all in this together. So please be good to you, but be good to those around you. I love you, but God loves you so much more. You always remember that and put that in your pocket. And remember to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for another edition of Love and Life. Have a great night. Have a great weekend, family. We love you. We love you.